I already had a radio show before even my album came out. And after that, I had like 2-3 radio shows in a week. We had this like a huge trend that college girls were so popular in Japan, and a lot of talents were college students, and I was one of those. So Miss DJ Request Parade was they had every day different college students, but they were also talents, and it was live, so thrilling. Sometimes I had a partner with me who was a music critic. So we talked about, because I was of course a musician but huge music fan. So we talked about music and played my favorite songs. And I was so into Tears for Fears at that time. So the record company loved me. Their record company, they gave me all kinds of. I also wrote a liner note for Tears for Fears for their 12-inch record. I'm so excited now. And they came to my other radio show as a guest too. So I met many people, Tears for Fears, Howard Jones, all those British people from the 80s. It was fun. I received like 3,000, 4,000 letters every week at that time. So the radio thing was a huge thing. And also I had a concert tour, but it was not like 200 cities. It was more like 30 cities in maybe 2 months. Pretty busy. The first album came on September 21st in 83. I had to release the next one in 6 months. And of course, if you count the recording time, I had to write songs quickly. I had a lot of pressure because I had already a hit album, and everybody was expecting for me to have another hit album, and didn't have much time. And I was also a college student, so that was hard. Even when you are in a good position, or when you are having the truth is good time, you sometimes feel like you're not doing great, right? Do you understand what I mean? So when I finished my 4th album, actually I recorded my 4th album in London. That was fun. I think things were kind of changing, like I could not just make a demo with just me and piano anymore. My record company staff, they were kind of giving me pressure. No one makes your song demo with just piano anymore. Everybody has like 4 tracks or 8 tracks, and they were giving me pressure like, you're so old-fashioned or something, and I didn't like it. So I tried my best to please them. And when I think about it, I could just be me. I could just be proud of myself, the way I was, but I cared about what people thought much more than now. So I tried to adjust, but then my record company started to, I don't know if everybody was thinking that way, but a part of them started to tell me that maybe you should start singing other people's songs, less writing. And then I thought, danger. I quit my management company and I quit the record company at the same time. It was so kind of a little bit crazy. And I made my own production company and shopped for a record deal again. I moved to Los Angeles in 1989. I made my 6th album in Los Angeles. It's called Miss Lemon. And I met this musician, and I kind of ended up falling in love. I decided to move here, and I had an ambition. I was in love, but I also had an ambition to break through the US music scene, because I was kind of still naive and young, and I thought it was kind of easy. It could come, because until then everything kind of came, my dream came true kind of easily. I worked hard, but it came to me, so I had no doubt I could do it. Brave. When the Warner Music Japan, when they dropped me in 1999. That was a shocker. And I knew it was gonna come because they were always kind of threatening me. Because you are in Los Angeles, we can't promote your record as much as we want, and you can't just jump into the train and come to the radio station or anything. So we have our promotion is limited. So someday, maybe we have to kick you out. It was right after I moved here. They were like telling me that. So I thought I was ready, but actually I received a phone call on the Thanksgiving Day that we are done with you. So that was a shocker. Right after they dropped me, I was still like, it doesn't hurt me. I'm gonna release my album independently, and I did. In the same year, I released my first independent English album. I was worried when I, started to record like a little bit lower budget stuff, that maybe it's gonna sound like a demo tape, but that's not happening. Performing is fun, but also can be a scary thing because it depends how you feel that day. Sometimes you don't feel great, sometimes you feel great, and sometimes your vocal cord is in a good condition but not. So I think I can say this about everything, but when you're young, you don't have fear, you just have fun doing things. But once you kind of learn like how to feel fear about something, you get kind of small and okay. So then after that, again, you have to learn how to break through that fear and that thing that I wanna hide kind of thing. So I've always liked to perform. I always loved performing. I think that when I perform, more like stuff coming up from my heart. So a lot of people say that I like your live concert more than your record. And that's a good compliment. And that's why when I'm in Los Angeles, I try to keep performing because if you don't perform for a long time, like if you don't perform like 6 months, then if I suddenly perform at the 7th month, then you get really nervous. When I was in Japan and my popularity was at the peak, maybe I'm gonna have another peak, so. But I had more people, more audience, 3,000, 4,000. Now it's a little bit smaller, but more intimate. And they absolutely love me. There's no one who's there to tease me or anything. They just couldn't wait to see me again. So I appreciate that every time they come back, and it's like we are sharing our lives together or something. We grew up together, we struggled together, and one thing though, I wanna my guy fans to get married and have wives and have children. So my audience becomes 3 times more people. I say that to them, but they go, but I don't write songs from me. Recently, it's a little bit slow, I have to admit, but it's not like I don't want to wait, but usually it happens. I hear something. The melody and lyric came to me at the same time, even a part of a song. And then so I can create a song based on that, from it. So I usually don't force myself to write. I can write. If somebody says, please write something in 5 minutes, I can write. But to me, that's not real. I almost feel like I'm a messenger, and maybe there are some message out there up high, and I'm almost like a medium or something that maybe they are ready to send those messages to me, then I catch it. That's how I feel. So I feel that I'm talented, a talented musician, but I'm a tool of God or the universe or something. That's how I feel. So I try not to like brag about it. I'm so musically talented. I have to try. Because you can't be lazy if you want to succeed in anything. But when you're trying your best, the opportunity comes, I think. Now I'm focusing on this Macross gig, and each episode I want to get better and better. Of course, I'm trying my best, the bestest. Then I want to focus on my album while I'm auditioning for a few parts here and there. But I want to make an album because my latest album was released in 2004. It's been a while, so I have already songs, so I just have to focus and start making productions. I write songs for myself to make me feel better, but it works for others too, because we can relate to each other. We all have pain in our hearts, and because I've lived my life long enough, I have so much experience in my life now, so I think that my words reach to people's heart deeper than when I was 19 or 20. My voice changed, and maybe songs are not the same, but I hope that it has more depth now. Actually, a few years ago, JVC Victor Entertainment Japan released an album called Mari Ijima Sings Rimime, and I produced it. And I rearranged a few songs from the TV series, and I wrote a new song called Why, and I wrote a melody, and Mime wrote lyrics. It was me, but I wrote it as Mime's point of view. So the song is about why did you choose her instead of me? Her is Misa. My latest album is called Wonderful People. It's not just like a boy and girl love songs, more global, big love, and especially like the title song Wonderful People. It's about more about life, that like when you grow up, when you're a child, you get influenced by people around you, like adults, your parents, your teachers, and they tell you like, you're not good enough. Why didn't you score 100 instead of 95? And when we are born, I think, we are all like really pure light, perfect. Maybe if we had like our previous lives, maybe we had something in our heart's tape recorder, maybe some memories, but we are all shiny light. But because of those like influence, we start losing our confidence, and maybe I'm not good enough, and then we become weird, like a little bit, like start crying. So the Wonderful People is that my message is that we are still perfect as we are, and I know we have maybe colors. We are not like crystal clear ball now, but we have some colors, but we are still perfect. So let's take care of ourselves first. And if you had a little pain when you heard that when you were a kid, just close your eyes. I'm like a guru now. Close your eyes and you kind of pat your little you in your heart. And if you do that like 30 minutes every day, you become stronger. Like, you went through so much, but you're still okay. And I went through all that. Like a few years ago, I had a horrible broken heart experience. That kind of changed my life. So I almost appreciate the person who broke my heart. But I found out so many things about me and life. So the message is that just if someone tells you something nice, take it in and believe it, because you're great, you're perfect. there was already a piano in the house.
Your voice is sounding bright. I feel a distance.
My parents are both dentists, but they're both music lovers. So they were always playing music in the house. I was already into like harmonies and melodies. So I'm sure that was a huge effect on my life. And I started to play piano when I was 3 or 4.
I can find a peace in my mind.
And my favorite songs were, we used to call it group sound. For you guys, it's the band. They were called the Tigers. It's like a sports team, but they had many, many hit songs, and I was like in love with the singer.
Yes, I love you. Don't ever let me go. Yes, I love you. If you really wanna know, more than anything, more than anything.
I had a piano teacher when I was, I think, 4. I was kind of a unusual or special child in school. Like you, I'm sure you had a girl in the classroom who can play piano and had a long hair. You know, I was one of those. I always thought I had to do music. Like there was some information in my brain or heart that I was going to be a musician. In school, if there are 2 choices that I can join the basketball club or a music club, like some band, I always had to take the music. I felt like that was the thing I had to follow. I started to write my own songs when I was a 5th grader. It was all about like everyday things, like I'm so glad the test is over, my dog is barking, like that. But I was inspired by other singer-songwriters who were famous at that time. I was almost like wanted to be like them, so I was playing piano and singing and wrote some songs and lyrics. I was always studying the classical piano, but always writing songs as a hobby. When I saw some other singer-songwriters were doing the style, playing piano and singing and writing, it just felt like I could do it easily or something. I can do it. So I just started. I started to write songs and started to record to the cassette tape recorder and doing some concerts for my families in the house. Also, I was a piano player for a lot of school events at school. So I had kind of many chances that I could perform in front of people. When I graduated music high school, I was gonna go to Kunitachi Music College. Then I was gonna be a pianist. I know it's hard to be a classical pianist, but my teachers thought I could. They felt like I was chosen to be that. But I was so afraid to lose my hobby, the writing songs and singing, and because that was the fun part. Practicing piano was like the hard, like, you know, like, oh, I don't want to practice today, but I can write songs. So I was talking to my teacher that, is it okay for me to continue? Because I was gonna go to different country to study seriously my piano. So And then the teacher asked me to sing in front of her, and I did that. And she thought I was expressing my feelings more freely than when I was playing piano. You know, my own music was freer than classical music. So then I decided, okay, I'm gonna go to my own college in Japan, and at the same time, I'm gonna shop for a record deal. So I made a few demo tapes, only few, like 4 or 5 cassette tapes, and I sent to the places like, you know, when you open the magazines, you see we want a keyboard player, or, you know, we are looking for a singer-songwriter. Like that, I sent 4 tapes, 4 or 5 tapes. And then suddenly, one guy maybe heard my tape and didn't like it, and he passed to somebody else, and it ended up at the JVC Victor Japan. It's just kind of amazing story. And then I got signed when I was 18. My parents saved some money for a kimono. Japanese girls always wear kimono when they become 20, and there's a huge kind of celebration ceremony. I gave up on that, and I bought a synthesizer instead of a kimono. And I used that and used my piano and made the demo. Yeah, it happened like in 2 or 3 months maybe. When I first went to see my director at the record company, he was giving me like his impression about my music. I liked it. Somebody didn't like it, but I liked it. What do you think? Do you wanna do this? And at the same time, a different division of JVC Victor was looking for somebody who could play minmay. And of course, the record company was a part of the group because they were gonna release the soundtrack. So of course, the production, Tatsunoko Production, and other production companies who were involved in the project, they were all looking for and auditioning for the minmay part. A guy from the animation division came to me and asked, "What do you think? Are you interested in it? Tomorrow is gonna be the last audition. Do you wanna try that?" And of course, I had no idea what Macross was or minmay was and how popular it was going to be. I just liked challenges. Like, I always liked it. So I said, yeah, why not? I'm gonna go for it. We already had a plan that we were going to record my first album, but the Macross came first. My record company asked me, who do you want to work with? So I said, I want to work with Ryuichi Sakamoto, who was at the time very, very popular figure because of the YMO, Yellow Magic Orchestra, that one of the very first techno bands. And also he was in Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence as an actor, and also he wrote the theme song. It was the beginning of his great time of his career too. Of course, I didn't know if he was gonna say yes, but my staff sent a demo tape to his production company. And he said, I wanna meet Mari. So we went to see him at his office. And he said, yeah, I'm gonna do it. It was kind of casual. I think that I was pretty calm about it actually. Like, I was like, it's not like, hey, don't take me so lightly, or I wasn't throwing attitudes or anything, but I was like really solid that no one can make fun of me, kind of vibe. So I almost said something back to him when he commented about music. I think, I don't think so, or something. I wasn't afraid of anything. I kind of freaked out more when Ryuichi came to the studio and rehearsed with me. He watched me play this song called Love Sick from my first album called Rose. I was pretty nervous, so I was kind of rushing. You know, when you're young, you rush. Like yesterday, I was watching the figure skate. Yep, and then young skaters were kind of rushing to the music. Anyway, I was rushing, and he was like, he had a pencil, and he was like timing me with like hitting the piano, and that kind of made me nervous. He was like, "Don't rush. You're a good piano player, but don't rush." And actually, that was a good lesson, and I don't rush now. I think I consider myself as one of the musicians who don't rush. I can groove and stay into the groove. So that was the first lesson for me from Ryuichi, that hey, get into the groove and stay in there. He hired all those really top Japanese studio musicians at that time. We recorded it together, the whole album. And Ryuichi was, he just got the synthesizer named DX7, and it was like a brand new toy for him. So he was having so much fun using that, and because I was, so young, and I didn't, have any fear. It was an instant hit, already top 10 hit, and I had on the debut day, I had a half promotional, half a fun appreciation event at this beautiful building owned by a designer, Hanae Mori. She's a designer, and she has a building in Harajuku, and I did the party, live concert, and the party later. And then I felt like, wow, maybe they are taking me really serious. They wanted me to be a big star. And I felt really good, But I didn't know any struggle before. So at that time, I didn't know that I was going to, feel the struggle later. Usually people struggle at the beginning, right? To get a deal or to make the venue packed. But I didn't have any problem doing that from the beginning. So the challenge came later.